Hello friends, thank you for joining us today for our time of devotion. Look where I am on this sunny day. I'm in North Shore Park and the birds are happy. They're singing and I'm looking for budding trees, and I found one that's already blossoming. I have several in a stand here in the park, and my little guidebook says it's either a calorie pear tree or it's a type of plum. Anyway, a fruit tree is in bloom. So that's exciting. I took my allergy medication this morning. How about you? I want to encourage you to continue to bring us household items for Bridge Refugee Services. A little shout out to Brandon and Peter, who came to speak at our church Wednesday night, and we raised a little bit of money and gave them some items for housing for some of our new residents in Knoxville who have moved here from Afghanistan or China or Cuba, other parts of God's world, maybe even some families from Ukraine. We are all praying for the situation with persons migrating and seeking asylum. We're praying that all people who need a safe place can indeed find safety and welcoming arms in Knoxville and Chattanooga, where we have Bridge Refugee Services, or other parts of God's world where people's hearts and minds are open to work for justice and peace and to relieve human suffering. I also invite you to help us collect individually wrapped candy for our annual Easter egg hunt. That'll be coming up in several more weeks, but it's never too early to start collecting. We do not need plastic eggs, all right? We have plenty of those from previous years, so just the individually wrapped candy would be fine. And what else are we collecting? The UMCOR special offering will be collected at the end of this month. So if you can set aside some money for that special offering to help provide support for responding to disasters around the world where the United Methodist Church sends emergency responders. So thank you. We're doing a lot and asking a lot, but God has blessed us with many resources, and so we share what we can. And in light of all this beauty and wonder and warmth around us, I would like to read one of my favorite prayer poems by Joy Cowley. You probably are familiar with her by now because I do like to read her poetry and her prayers. This one especially is for springtime. The title of it is Greenness. Greenness. Dear God, there are times when I hear your voice most clearly in greenness, in the singing of the sap, the conversations of the leaves, the whisperings of shoot and stem, root, sap, and cell, calling me back to creation, to feel again the freshness of you running through everything like a bright emerald current. Beloved Creator, coming to your greenness is always a coming home, a time of peace and grace, as the unimportant in me falls away and I know again that bright green shoot of my own beginning, which comes from you and is one with you, bright and beautiful God. Have you thought to tell God today, thank you for the beauty? I hope you can see beauty where you are. I do have our prayer list for the church. I am sad to share the news that Tammy Brummett died early on Wednesday morning. You probably remember Tammy Brummett has been on our prayer list for months and months, maybe over a year now, just with such suffering health-wise, and she was on her way to a doctor's appointment, just collapsed. And so our prayers are with Terry Evans, her cousin, who was making the arrangements, who's a member of our church, and we will host that service next Friday, March the 21st, if you can join us. Tammy was Lieutenant Tammy Brummett of the Knox County Sheriff's Department. She was a retired officer. Please continue your prayers for Drama Robeson, who is in hospice care now in Chattanooga. We continue our prayers of healing for Greg Drennan, for Tammy Judd and her mother and her sister. We pray for peace in Ukraine, for those peaceful negotiations to be successful, and for all countries to do our part as citizens of the world, and as people of faith, we're citizens of God's kingdom. So may God lead us and guide us, and may we respond in ways that are just and peaceful, hospitable and loving, just as we would want to be treated if we were suffering from the violence and destruction of warfare. And so our hearts also still go out to the people of Gaza for the unrest between Israel and Palestine, and all that that means, and Hamas, and such complex problems. And we just pray for the Prince of Peace to have an intervention there. Many of us are praying for an intervention here in our own country. We don't understand fully what's happening. Many people are losing their jobs, and it's more than just that, the loss of so many jobs, but also the loss of important institutions that have given strength and integrity to our culture and our society. So may God's will prevail, and may God's people speak up for justice, what is right. We're praying for Reverend Mike Sluter and Reverend Sam Zobo and their mission team with Danny Howe, Harry Howe, the Howe family, many others from Holston, on a delegation, a mission of welfare and goodwill to Uganda. And I believe they're meeting with our South Sudanese friends who have had to flee to Uganda. So there again is another situation where the destruction and violence of warfare have caused even our United Methodist friends to flee over to neighboring Uganda. So our prayers are with them, and I hope you'll join us for worship. This is spring break weekend. A lot of you are going to be traveling, maybe with your children or grandchildren. I hope some of you will receive children and grandchildren coming to visit you and bring them to our church. We will be there to give them care and Christian education and love and treats. Okay? So I'd like to offer a prayer by Bishop Stephen Charleston. I have a collection of his prayers, Spirit Wheel, but you can find his prayers online, on the internet, or on social media. Bishop Charleston is retired in the Episcopal Church. He's very active on social media, sharing his powerful prayers. It's really an effective ministry. Bishop Stephen Charleston. I hope you'll find him. And so this, from this collection of meditations, there's one called Praying. So I was thinking about all God's people who need our prayers. So we collect those prayers of joy, or grief, despair, and hope, our dreams, our desire for loved ones to be healed, our world to be healed, whatever your prayers are. And I don't want to forget to mention two joys, if you'll allow me just now. Our friend Mallory at church celebrated her 13th birthday this week, so a little shout out to Mallory Thompson, and also a shout out today to Matias Rodriguez, who's part of our congregation. He's celebrating his 9th birthday today, and we got to be part of his little birthday celebration at Pleasant Ridge Elementary School today. So God's blessings on our young people who are celebrating. All right, here we go. This is the title of this prayer is Praying. I am praying where I am. You are praying where you are. Around us, millions are praying in their own places and their own times. I am praying in my language, you in yours, and together with many others, our sacred words rise to heaven in 1,000 dialects of the human voice. I am dreaming my holy dreams. You are dreaming. The world is dreaming, spinning out hope like a ribbon caught on the morning air. The Spirit is watching over me. The Spirit is watching over you. The Spirit is watching over every soul. Beneath the stars we share. Watch for the blood moon tonight if you have a clear sky or a good telescope, and enjoy the coming of spring. I guess it'll arrive next Friday. And look for the blood moon or the stars tonight. Know that all of us who see the stars are thinking about God's people and God's universe and God's creation, and we are called to be good stewards of God's creation. We are called to be good stewards of our resources to share with persons in need. So thank you for thinking about that wherever you are, wherever you serve for the common good. And if you'd like a church home, we invite you to Trinity, where we strive to share love with others and where all means all. Have a good day. May the blessings of our Creator, Redeemer, and Sustainer abide with you always.